but this is official, even though I've been Google searching this story, Jarrod Loadholt. Let me welcome him to the show. Amazing attorney and person that's out there doing stuff. Why isn't this like news everywhere? Jarrod Loadholt, welcome to the Karen Hunter Show. Let's welcome him in first.
Thank you, Karen, for having me. It's always good to be here. Why isn't this bigger news? Well, I mean, it's a $1.7 trillion budget. And so this is really just, it's one page and like a few paragraphs of a massive, because every time we talk, it's like some massive bill, right? And it's kind of tucked into what they call a supplemental appropriation for disaster relief. So every year that they do a budget, usually there's something that has happened in the country where they need to put a lot of money somewhere because something happened. And that's usually a supplemental appropriation for disaster relief that we usually attach to the budget. So most news outlets don't really cover the budget, the federal budget.
Wait, pause for a second, Jarrod. Yeah. Like that budget impacts, this is the federal budget, this is the budget, impacts our lives even more so than, who we send to Congress. That budget determines things in all of these states.
It does. But I mean, Karen, how many journalists can navigate the federal budget? It's actually not an easy document to navigate. So,
but this is your specialty. So,
I mean, look, you learn it quickly when your client has a water crisis. So you figure things out really, really quickly. But no, look, I'm thrilled at the news. Hopefully,
so wait, just walk us through in this trillion plus budget. There was a $600 million set aside or settlement.
No,
so what is it?
So it is $600 million that would go to the Environmental Protection Administration, the EPA, and the Environmental Protection Agency. They're on the ground in Jackson. They've been on the ground in Jackson since the water crisis happened, because almost all of the water dollars in this country flow through the EPA. And the EPA then sends the money to the states, and then the states then send the money down to local governments, which I will suggest when we had this conversation, that's probably a broken system to fund water, which is kind of how we got to this position, I think, in Jackson. And so the budget included $600 million that will go to the EPA, that will go directly to Jackson. So it won't go through the state. But the wording in the document basically says it will go to the $150 million will go for technical assistance, $450 million will go to like actual projects that will go to like the place where Joe Biden declared an emergency in August 2022. But it's only one place where that happened, and that was in Jackson. And so this has been a decades-long problem. This is probably the largest single investment in the history of the city of Jackson by the U.S. federal government. And the Biden administration, I think, deserves tremendous credit